Sean, what about Robo for you? Can you see a reason why he doesn't make the team, or do you think he will?
Well, the reason for him not making the team would be internal stubbornness.
Who on the Dallas Stars do you think, based on what we know right now, because we talked about this at the beginning of the season, but now that we're only a week or 9 days away or so, who's going to make the Olympics? I believe that there are 6 locks guaranteed. I think there are 2 probables, a maybe, a couple of wild goose chases, and then 2 that would absolutely do it, except for either for political or for federation rules. Those players and teams are not participating. And if you're curious, Ilya Lyubushkin would probably be on the Russian team because they don't have a ton of NHL defensemen, but Russia is banned from the Olympics and most international competition. And then Liam Bichsel is suspended by Switzerland. Those guys would be in because we said there could be as many as 10 Stars players in the Olympics back in the summer. Now, we know Bichsel won't, and Russia's still banned. So those 2 are out. Do you guys want to hear my 6 that are locks, or do you want to keep? Do you want to go? Okay. Radek Faksa will play for Czechia, no doubt. Right? They're not a deep forward group. There's some great players. He will be on that team. The Finns, all 4 of them: Mikko Rantanen, Miro, Heiskanen, Esa, Lindell, Roope, Hintz. I believe that is it. Mikko and Miro are already named.
Yeah.
Is Esa on that or not yet? I don't remember now.
No,
it doesn't matter. He's going to be on the team.
3 of the first 4, I think.
I thought Esa was named already.
I know Roope wasn't. I know that.
Roope was not, right. So, but I think the other 3, and Roope will be on that team.
The forward.
And then Jake Ottinger will be on Team USA. The question of will he be the starter, will be the Connor Hellebuyck backup. That's up in the air still, but he will definitely be on that team. Those are my 6. All right, so let's go to the question marks. Jason Robertson. Does Jason Robertson make Team USA?
For me, yes. He does now.
Why?
I think he's getting a little bit more of what Billy Guerin will want to see. And again, I think he's done enough, and I think he's shown that he's willing to play and add things to his game. You're seeing him back check. You're seeing him getting a little more involved physically at times and going to the front of the net and all them little kind of things. But he's trying not to be just known as a goal scorer, which I think is what a concern would be, because they go, well, we have some goal scorers. I think he's in.
And specifically, even strength, the big one, right? We know you said it. I think you can't just be a one-trick pony. We'll talk about Wyatt, I'm sure, in a second. Is a similar
he's on
conversation.
My list. Yep.
But with Robo kind of pushed off the. I think Leah, Dallas Morning News, asked him last night kind of about that. Bill Guerin's comments about you have to be able to do it in different situations. You got to be able to play physical game, do all that stuff. He kind of pushed that off, but I've personally seen that trend from him. I don't think it's an accident. Especially. I don't think it's an accident that he's getting tackled and cross-checked. I imagine he's getting under players' skins a little bit. I'm not necessarily seeing it, but whether it's a little bit of talking here and there, a little hack and whack, just the way he's kind of in their face.
Or they're trying to put him off his game because he's so hot.
Because he's hot and doing it, but usually you don't get attacked as often if you're not doing a little something to annoy somebody. So I imagine he's finding a little more edge, and I think that was the only thing he really needed, because we know he can score, and being hot at the right time is key.
And I don't know. I know JT Miller's got an injury right now. I don't know if it's anything that would keep him out. But I mean, I think there's a couple injuries in there, and I don't know how long those are going to be.
They've insisted JT Miller will not be affected by this injury as far as the play. We'll wait to see.
Of course, they're all going to say that at this time of the year. Yeah. They're all going to say, no, I'm going to be healthy until I'm not.
Oh, they're going to drag you talk about Sagan coming back. Anybody that has a shot at playing in the Olympics will drag themselves into being healthy.
Will play without one foot.
Sean, what about Robo for you? Can you see a reason why he doesn't make the team, or do you think he will?
Well, the reason for him not making the team would be internal stubbornness, where maybe that there was so much of a there was so much of a bar for him to clear that he was never able to even make it over that, right? And so that would be the only way he wouldn't make the team. Internal stubbornness, where Bill Guerin and the Team USA staff were like, he can't do this, and so then he never had a chance. If they were really leaving the door open, I think he's on the team. Personally, my kind of dream, it's fitting because, I see both these teams, and we're going to watch them play tomorrow night head-to-head. And I've said this on Twitter last week. I would love a line for Team USA to watch it. I think one of an incredibly fun line for Team USA would be Jason Robertson on a wing with Dylan Larkin and Alex DeBrincat on the other wing. I think that would be an incredibly fun line of guys who love to shoot the puck, a center that's going to cover a little bit for them. Larkin's going to bring the speed level that Robertson is used to playing with Hintz. DeBrincat has a little bit more of that old school bowling ball kind of sense to him. To me, that would be a really like fun combination. Luz, I know you text Billy sometimes. Send that to him for me. And
let him know.
So,
okay, what about Thomas Harley? Because in my mind, I don't think this season he's been good enough to, if you're based just on this year. But I think because of what he did at the Four Nations last year, and many hockey executives, not just the Hockey Canada guys, but many love he's proven in the biggest stages before. I believe he can do it again. And why, you won the Four Nations. Why mess with that group of 8? He may not be one of the 6, right? Because it was a couple injuries that got Harley in. I'm just not sure he, over some of the guys that are playing better than he is right now, should actually make it.
I would take him before Drew Doughty, honestly, me. And I know Doughty's been there, and he's going to probably be there.
He should be.
But I would take when Thomas is playing Thomas Harley hockey. Now, I think Theodore's injured right now. I don't know what his injury is, and so I think I believe
Jacob
he's in the,
Chychrun?
I think
he's in the
Chychrun's.
8. I believe he's 8, maybe 9.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, 9 means you're not going.
Right.
But the way that he's played, what was it? 2 games ago, we were like, man, he's
Anaheim.
back.
Yep.
Well, I said that. Sorry, I said that. He's back.
Everybody was back against Anaheim.
Last night's game.
Yeah, it didn't look good last night.
Yeah, I think he's got to put some consistent games together in order to be. I'm just looking at it from being as part of the 6.
Yeah,
I don't even know if that's.
I said to Owen last night, I have no worry about Thomas Harley's future. I'm not one of those people that thinks, oh, he got overpaid immediately. It's going to be John Klingberg. I think he has a bright future with the Dallas Stars team and could be everything we've said he could be. I have a lot of worry about him this season because whether it's that he dealt with an injury and an illness and the combination of that plus the contract stuff happening plus the Olympics, maybe he's just got a lot going on. Maybe he's still not 100% healthy. I don't know the reason, but he's looked bad.
Yeah. Right?
We can say that because of how good he is. I'm not just saying he's not looked like his normal self. He hasn't looked anywhere near that level. And the turnover last night that led to the Austin Matthews breakaway was the perfect example of he's just not as aware of things going on. It's not the skill isn't there or anything like that. He's just making a play where you think, what could be going through your head at the moment? You're the last guy back. You have options to make the pass, and you decide to try to skate it through the best player with no defense. So to me, I don't think he's going to make it because I think they're seeing the fact that he is clearly going through something, and it's not about who you have been. It's about, are you going to be an effective player in February during those 2 weeks? And I don't think they can trust he will be.
Sean?
You keep doing this to me right before the break. This is
no. I'll give you a minute or two. We got to talk about Wyatt, so make it quick.
Yeah, I think
make it quick.
I think
serious?
Thomas Harley's on Team Canada. I think Thomas Harley's on Team Canada because I think his ability and what he showed at Four Nations last year goes a long way. You look at the way they built Team Canada, and you look at, hey, who can do it in the big moments? Who can prove us with this track record and everything like that? And I think Thomas Harley stepping up and playing the role he did in a game to win a gold medal championship, whatever we want to call Four Nations, in that role, it's to a lesser extent the reason Jordan Binnington will be the number 1 for Canada. Jordan Binnington went into Four Nations not playing great, not playing at an elite level. But then it was, hey, when the big games happen, we know we get big game Jordan Binnington. I think Thomas Harley, in the minds of Hockey Canada, and I've spoken to, and on top of that, you've got a lot of people who are on that staff who love Thomas Harley game. Obviously, Jim Nill is an assistant GM, an AGM on that team, but Misha Donskov, former Stars assistant coach, is now working with Hockey Canada as well as a huge Thomas Harley believer and everything like that. You got a lot of people in Thomas Harley's camp, and so many people in Hockey Canada were so impressed with his ability to go from potentially being on a flight to, I know it was some tropical destination, and instead showed up, played like he did in crucial games at Four Nations. He earned that big game reputation. And I think from a Hockey Canada perspective, there's going to be a level of, hey, he's been down a little bit this year, but when the chips are on the line last year, he showed us he's that type of player. And for me, that's why Harley's going to be on this team.
I trust Harley over Bouchard.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
I trust
I
them
agree.
over a lot of
I agree.
people.
Yes, I agree.
I just worry
Yes.
they're not going to look past those things. That's
I
my
do
big
think
concern.
that Harley makes it, although I'm not sure if the way he's played this year alone would deserve it, but the greater body of work. I said I think Harley makes Team Canada for the Olympics. I don't think Wyatt Johnston does. Wyatt Johnston is having a statistically fantastic year. He leads the NHL with 13 power play goals, and for the up and downs where he's, had a 7-game goal drought, which for him seems like an eternity. He's been fine, but I honestly don't think there was any way, save for maybe Connor McDavid numbers, that he was going to push through that Hockey Canada group of forwards.
Or injuries.
Injuries
That's the only thing.
is the only way. Do any of the three of you think Wyatt makes this roster as it currently stands?
I don't. I think what did you say? You said the 5-on-5. That was why I pointed you out Wyatt, because that's a big part of it.
I mean, his goals are all coming special teams.
Yeah.
Canada's got plenty of guys that can play on the power play.
We got a few.
So I think he just, I like Wyatt a lot. I just think that if there's a deep group of forwards over there. What was it, Cirelli? Would I take him? But then again, I would take Tom Wilson too. That would just be me. I think that Tom Wilson would be a guy I would take on my team.
Would you have Cirelli penalty killing over Wyatt?
Have who?
Would you take Anthony Cirelli to be a penalty killer
well,
over Wyatt?
Wyatt, you mean just to kill penalty? Because Wyatt's not going to kill penalty.
That's my point, because they have enough power play guys.
He's not killing here anymore, which is right.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Right?
So he's going to be a power play guy.
I think, but
he can bring more. And we know Wyatt can bring more than just scoring power play goals. But, again, I just...
and I don't even think he's a bad defensive forward. I just think that he's young. And when you have the likes of McDavid, McKinnon, Crosby, Marner, Marchand.
Even Marchand is a big one. People were saying, should they not bring him because he struggled last year? You can't. Guy was unstoppable in the playoffs, amazing in the Stanley Cup final, has the leadership,
he's made for these
won
kind
the
of
cups,
games.
he's made for this tournament. That's what Wyatt doesn't have. He doesn't have any of the extra notch where you're like, okay, that guy won a gold, that guy won 2 cups, give it to him. And that's what's the problem. That's not jumping him over anyone.
Scheifele, Stone.
Yep.
Suzuki, possibly. I don't know if there's room
That's
for him.
the one for me that I...
Suzuki?
I think Suzuki's like...
That's the one for me where Wyatt is kind of similar level. But, they're all so good. I would love to see...
You're going to take Sam Bennett, probably.
Team USA
Ryan
against Team Canada.
Hagel.
B teams. Let's watch that.
Hagel's
tournament.
there.
Yeah.
Hagel's the other one.
The other one this was from the NHL list from the summer. They had Robert Thomas from the Blues. I'm not sure he makes that.
No.
But then you have guys like Carter Verhaeghe, Seth Jarvis, of course, Tom Wilson, and then Macklin Celebrini.
People think he's in.
Yeah. So with all those, I just don't see the numbers, Sean, how possibly Wyatt makes that group.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't think Celebrini or Johnston should make this team for Canada. But I do think if Celebrini makes the team, then we have a fascinating discussion about whether when it comes to Wyatt or Celebrini, because when we go and talk about, hey, can they do it in this moment? Can they do this and that? And I loved Macklin Celebrini's game earlier last week. We're going to talk, and I love his game.
Sean,
But
if we go
Wyatt
back
Johnston,
to the other team, would you, if Kane was healthy, would you take him?
would I take Kane?
Not Evander
yes,
either.
because you. No, Patrick. I would take Patrick Kane because you get to dress an additional body for the Olympics. So you get to you can either dress 13 forwards or 7 defensemen. And I think Patrick Kane, from an American standpoint of running the power play along the wall, you're not finding anyone better as an American along the wing right there. I don't want Patrick Kane going his 5-on-5 play, I want Patrick Kane is the perfect example of a player because of that roster rule where you get to dress an additional player. You get to dress either an additional forward or a defenseman I would put him on just as a power play specialist who's only going to play 6 to 7 minutes because of that. That's the way I look at that, just because there's a lot of things Team USA has, and there's a lot of creators, and there's a lot of guys with good shots that create chances, but they still don't have somebody who creates and can run a power play off the half wall the same way. Because so much of this power play is going to run through Hughes at the top, right? We all know that's going to happen. Hughes is going to run the power play from the top. I think in an Olympic tournament, everything's going to be so well scouted. You need another focal point that is either a threat or a bluff to go to. And I think Kane adds that in this. And on top of that, just from a perspective of it comes into play all the time, and it's a reason for Robertson too as well. But the shootout does come into play, and Kane is, from a shootout perspective, he's another player there. So I would
Bring back
put Kane
Oshie
on this team with that caveat there. So.
Yeah, and that's a good point. The shootout may be part of why Robo makes that roster. I also wrote down Nils Lundqvist and Oscar Beck for Sweden. Nils has no shot. I'm not saying that they have any chance. I wrote them down because they're Swedish. Maybe if you wanted a pure penalty killer, but they've got enough guys. The real question is, and I have like 30 seconds and then we'll get to 3 stars. Do you guys think John Klingberg could make the Swedish roster for the Olympics as one of the extra guys for this Olympics? Because his best Olympics, the NHL didn't send players.
If it was bigger ice, but it's going to be smaller ice.
Literally smaller than the regular ice, so probably not.
Does Klinger have a chance to use
Oscar? No, but if we're going to include Oscar Beck on this list because he's Swedish, let's say Alexander Petrovic's Canadian, right? Like, are we really just? If we're just going to say you have a passport from that country, we should be talking about you playing for them. Like, Alex Petrovic's Canadian.
If Oscar Beck was from Slovakia,
every now and then I have to remind Sean that this is a content show where we have to come up with talking points, even if it doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense.